motivated, so I can see him hopefully bringing his A game today. And we should be finding out soon enough because both players have readied up, so we should be off in just a few moments here. And there we are.
All right. So Flashman, it's one of the less involved stages of the run, but there's a couple things you got to watch out for. Number one, you don't want to get hit by any of these dudes except for this one at the very beginning.
Yeah, that's allowed.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty much
intentional.
Pretty much mandatory in Rockman 2.
Yeah.
But any of these, there's one here and then another one at the very end that can snipe you if you get unlucky or execute improperly. You don't want to do that. And then after that, it's pretty much you just got to jump around all the corners cleanly. You got to get through the tin can, which is a subtle little bit of movement, and then the flash fight.
That is what they're looking to do, and we can see that Endy has taken just a very tiny lead because coolkid got a big health drop, which he was not able to avoid. So that's what's put him behind by just ever so slightly. The flash fight is really what's going to determine who's got the lead coming out of here, though. Coolkid, of course, an expert at the damageless flash fight. I don't remember if Endy does damageless or takes some intentional damage in the fight. I guess we'll see. All right, here we go. 14 shots from victory. It looks like Endy did take some damage.
Endy took a deliberate damage boost, and then I guess he took an extra one afterwards.
He did, and
Coolkid had a lot of trouble there.
Coolkid
I'm not sure what happened.
I think, did he get flashed twice? I was paying attention to Endy's screen, but yeah, he is giving up the lead. So, you know, maybe some of that hubris is coming back to bite him early on. Endy probably with about a good 5-second lead so far. Maybe a little more.
With Coolkid, you never know. It might be another disrespect strat playing with his food. Right?
He's playing with his emotions. He's like, let me make him think that he has a chance. I'm gonna mess up his flash here. The mind games. It's unbelievable. You're right. You know, you said it immediately at the outset that these guys have a rivalry, so anything's fair game, I guess. All right. So what are we looking for in Heatman here?
I guess the first thing is in this first screen towards the end, you got the item 3 throw, where you can skip a little bit of platforming just by tossing it at item 3 with good timing. So we'll see. That looks good from Endy. And good from Coolkid. So now next up, I guess, is the item 3 zip. You want to set it up on the ladder. And then, yeah. It pops you up into the ceiling, and then there's a 4-frame window after, pressing A to turn left, and then you get zipped.
It is the first zip of the game, and it is an A-trigger zip, which there are a few of those. They're tougher than the B-trigger zips, which are about a 15-frame window. So, both players having a nice heat so far. Endy is going to elect to use the time stopper, which is going to make sure that he can take some extra damage against Heatman if necessary. Coolkid, on the other hand, going to stick with the Buster. So Coolkid can only take one body shot from Heatman. If he takes a second, he would die, and that is something that we have seen in the tournament. So, you know, even with the top runners, anything can happen, and Endy electing to be a little bit more safe. I think this is the right strat here. So let's see.
All right. Endy's playing it pretty safe on this fight, I think. He's kind of doing the buffer jumps, but he's staying a little bit further away from heat while he does them.
Yeah,
whereas
and
Coolkid is full heat buffers here.
And Coolkid perhaps getting a slightly better luck. Endy just finished there at 415, a 415 kill. I would say they had comparable stages. Maybe not. Coolkid with a 422 kill, so about 7 seconds apart, going into air. So that's a nice lead for Endy because you got to figure, you know, he's going to lose sometime just to Coolkid based on movement alone. Coolkid maybe has slightly better menus. I'm not sure, but yeah, he wants to have like a solid lead to at least say, hey, I know I'm in it. He's gonna have to kind of keep himself within that one big mistake in order to have a chance to take this first game off of coolkid. So we'll see.
Yeah. Thing with this game is, like, you say one big mistake, but there's like dozens of opportunities to make that one big mistake in this run. It's a really, really dangerous run.
Yeah, speaking of dangerous, Endy and coolkid both heading into one of the more dangerous stages. We have Airman. They're going to be doing this open air section with item 1, and it is very, very easy to just have a slight misstep and then you're dead. So Endy up first, gets the first damage boost that he needs.
Ooh, that's
he's in a
really
bit of trouble now. He's going to fall off.
Okay.
He's done. Yeah, he
no.
couldn't escape the lag factory there. He was trying to actually get a ledge jump on that first lower electric guy, and because of that, he took damage. He's going to have to take an intentional game over. So this is pretty much game to coolkid at this point, because that's about a 45 to 50 second time loss. And that's only if Endy gets through the stage successfully. So really unfortunate. He had the lead, and now he's pretty much dead unless coolkid has a major mistake.
Yeah. One note about the lag factory in Rockman 2, when the game is lagging, your knockback is actually extended a little bit, and sometimes a lot, depending on how much lag there is. So, like, normally maybe you could take that damage and not fall off the cloud platform, but like when there's a ton of stuff on the screen, like all those item 1s and stuff, then you get knocked back a lot more and you just fall to your doom.
And that's what we saw happen to Endy. I really think that he was going for a different strat there. He tried to stop short of that guy and land on the edge and save himself.
Oh yeah, trying to do fast air maybe.
I don't think he was going for fast air, but I've seen that some people will try to get that first ledge jump to make sure that no matter what, they can go into Airman with enough health, and we can see coolkid barely surviving there. Endy does not have that luxury here, so oh wow, he gets the big health. He doesn't get it! That is a big mistake by Endy, because
he can.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Now he can only take one hit unless he gets out HP.
He is really screwed. He should have taken that big health drop. That would have given him the buffer against. And that.
There we go.
I don't know if that helps him though. Does he have 8 or 10?
Yeah, he's got 10 now.
Does he have 10? Okay, so maybe. Yeah. Well, and he's spoiling in chat. That's one thing we know about Endy. He does spoil. He maybe I don't know. Maybe he's going to survive air, but he could be. If he doesn't survive air, he actually has to take an intentional game over. And I don't know if he knows that.
All right. Oh, he's fine.
He's getting a bad pattern. He's going to need to do a left side kill, and he's able to get it. Okay. So.
All right. coolkid is into Crash. So, or sorry, Clash. I'm wrong.
Mixing up the games happens to the best of us.
Flawless Biggie.
Hey man, when the strat's named after you, you got to pull it off.
Yeah.
So he gets it.
That
so
big
coolkid.
boy.
The big boy, he's got the comfortable lead. He's cruising along now. His mind games have worked. You know, he's basically got to just avoid some major setbacks. The first one would be there's a soft lock in Quickman, which is the next stage. And then after that, it's all stuff that happens in the Wily stages. So Endy really is not going to have an opportunity to catch up for quite a while, barring that soft lock, which is about 1.5 minutes actually. And I think that would put Endy back in the lead if we saw that.
All right, Endy's going to be doing the second screen zip with a nice setup and gets the wrap as well.
Yeah, nicely done there by Endy. It's going to be interesting to see if this really puts him on tilt or if he's able to kind of maintain his composure, because that is like such a heartbreaking. I had that happen to me in one of my races, and it's so devastating. Like you're in the lead and then you mess up that open air section on something dumb that you don't usually mess up, and it can really tilt you. So it'll be interesting to see if he's able to kind of just keep things together and play well.
Yeah, I guess what I remember about Endy is when he was 2017 or whatever, right? In the Mega Man 1 race, he got the Magnet Beam soft lock and then came back and got a 19 right after that. So it's like...
That's true. Yeah, so that does give him a chance. I would agree with you. I think, yeah, that is a good example of, some time where something really bad happened for him and he was able to recover pretty well. Because I guess there's less pressure on you at this point. He knows, he's like, yeah, Cool Kid's not going to mess up, so I may as well just try to go all out here and play my best and, see what happens. But, yeah, Cool Kid screen watches, we know that, so he knows that he's got a huge lead. Maybe he's going to back off of a couple strats, but honestly, I don't think Cool Kid has been that safe in his races, to be honest. So he, there is a chance that he just gets a little too cocky and messes up something. Maybe he dies in refights. I don't know. Anything could happen.
Yeah, for sure. So here, using Time Stopper, this is mandatory use of Time Stopper if you do the zip, because you get onto the wrong screen and you need to screen wrap around. If the lasers are there, they'll just kill you when you try to do that, so...
And Cool Kid is indeed coming up to that soft lock opportunity here. If he overzips this door, it is a soft lock, but he'll probably stop a little bit short, I would imagine. And he does. He stops about 3 tiles short, so he's safely in the door, and he is going to be onto the boss fight here. He's got to land 7 crash bombs. Not the easiest thing to do. Quickman can have some pretty unpredictable patterns, but Cool Kid is a pro at handling them. He gets a very good pattern, actually, so quick fight there. Nicely done.
Yeah, we all dream of the day we get that pattern on good pace.
Oh yeah, that's like such a good feeling. People are asking why Cool Kid picked up the extra life. It is for safety, and there's a couple things that it keeps you safe from. One, he is going to be going for dog scrolls in Woodman stage, as we're about to see here. If he were to overzip one of the screens, that 1-up allows him to continue to do the full zip to get to Woodman. 2 is that if he were to have a death in Wily stages, then having that extra life can actually bail you out of some really bad situations instead of having to take a game over.
Endy having just the slightest bit of trouble trying to get that last wiggle there into the door, but he's through. We'll see if he gets a good quick as well. That's a bad quick.
No, that's not what you want to see. Cool Kid, meanwhile, handling these dog scrolls like a pro. He is safely through, so he's going to maintain his 1-up. Gets the extended.
A full zip.
Yeah, he got the extended at the end there. So, Cool Kid being Cool Kid, he he got off to that early start with the Flashman mistake, and since then he's just kind of been like, all right, I got that out of my system. Let's go.
Doing the quick list strats there. So like normally you would switch to quick in order to make that 1 frame ladder press. You can just buffer it out by holding the shoot button. But if you're a god of Mega Man 1 like Cool Kid is, you can just do that with the item 1 instead.
Yeah, him and Endy both. Endy doesn't do it, but he certainly could if he wanted to. I think he just chooses not to because it's not the hugest time save. I mean, you're saving yourself a menu, which it's significant. But I think for the race situation, that's not going to be like the make or break thing in a matchup of 2 players that are kind of separated by almost a minute at this point. I mean, Endy, I believe, has and Endy's in trouble here. Once again, the lag factory is getting him, but he's kind of managing his way out here. He needs to not fall in this pit, though. Oh, boy. That's unfortunate.
Is he trying to save himself with the item 3? Oh, my God.
It was too late.
If he could have managed, that would have been incredible.
If he had caught it earlier, if he could have pause buffered his way, like if he had looked as soon as he fell, and if he had managed to pause, he could have. But yeah, he got himself in a bad spot there. And Endy, it should be mentioned, Endy's had some recent job changes that have had him spending a lot more time with work-related stuff, and he hasn't had as much time to practice. So I think you may be seeing the effects of that a little bit here.
Yeah. So Endy's in trouble not only in this level, but also in the next one as well, because he does not have a spare life to do the wood zip.
No, if I was Endy at this point, I think I'm just going to bubble, taking a quick intentional game over, and getting back on track. But yeah, if he goes to wood, then that would just compound his mistake, because there's no 1-up he can get in wood. He'd probably realize, and then he'd have to take an intentional game over, which is extremely slow to do in Woodman stage. That would be like another probably 20-30 seconds lost. So hopefully he kind of understands the situation and figures it out and knows what to do. But if not, this is going to be more painful, folks.
Yeah. So, Endy and Cool Kid looking, remarkably close, but Cool Kid's an entire stage ahead, so... And Endy does go to wood, so he may have to do zipless second half of the stage.
Yeah, he's got 0 lives right here, so I don't think he realized it, and he's gonna find out the hard way. Unfortunately, he's gonna probably do the entire zip and then game over in the Woodman corridor. Like that's gonna be hard to watch, but yeah, I think this is gonna have to be a warm-up game for Endy. Some things went okay for him, but the few things that went wrong went horribly, horribly wrong. So hopefully he can just kind of bounce back in game 2. But the likelihood for him to come back now at this point, because this is going to be like another 2-minute time loss almost.
No, he's just going zipless. He saw his life count. And
he did? Okay. Okay. All right.
So it's only like 45 seconds instead. All right.
Well, it's 45 seconds if you do things optimally. Like, he should actually use time stopper here in this section, but he probably doesn't know that. He's handling this section pretty well, though, actually. Good. Wow. Nicely done. That was impressive. All right, maybe he's not going to lose extra time then. Cool Kid, meanwhile, demonstrating that hot item 2 zip at the end of Bubble Man, and he's going to be probably getting about a 1620-ish teleport out of Bubble, somewhere in there, maybe 25, but it's going to be solid. He's in good shape here. His pace is good.
Endy trying to kill these chickens with the metal blade, but unfortunately they're immune.
Those chickens are invincible. That's Wily should have manufactured more of those chickens. He would have been successful in this game. Made all these other enemies that could be damaged by Mega Man's weapons. What an idiot. Alright, so yeah, Cool Kid, he's on a solid 27 pace here, as usual. This is what he does. He's headed into the Wily stages, but Endy's still got a whole nother stage. He's got to go through Bubble Man's entire stage, so I would say Cool Kid probably has about a 3-minute lead almost at this point. And you do not want to be spotting Cool Kid, of all people, a 3-minute lead. That's just a recipe for not winning.
So Endy riding the item 2 in this first screen of Bubble, which means he will not be doing the item 2 zip later in the stage.
Yeah, most players have not. Yeah, really only Cool Kid and I think Prizzy maybe also going for it, but most players in the tournament were not going for that, and I don't blame them because it's a really, really difficult trick. It's not a huge time save, and you miss it once, it can sometimes just get in your head, and you'll just miss it like 4 or 5 times in a row, and then you're losing huge amounts of time. So, Cool Kid getting ready to set up this second zip here in Wily 1. Let's see how he takes it. Aggressively. Extremely aggressively.
That's one of the most risky sips in the whole game, because like, especially in terms of like risk versus reward, the reward is only like 3 seconds, and the risk is 20 or 15 at least.
Oh yeah, it's 20. Yeah, no question about it. I think he just, at this point, Cool Kid's feeling really confident in the game. He trusts his muscle memory. He's been grinding this game more than anybody. Like, he's just churning out runs daily, so his consistency is pretty much the highest of anybody that's left in the tournament, and it's showing for sure. And he getting that unfortunate 3-bubble pattern that causes... He's just had so much lag. You could define Endy's run by just lag. In one word, lag. Alright, so Cool Kid going to be heading into Wily 2 here. He's presumably not going to be taking this item ammo, although I think in this kind of situation, he should actually... There's a strat where you can switch to item 2, you can get the first item ammo and this item ammo, and then you can actually recharge your item 1 on the way down, and you skip this zip entirely, and it really does not lose that much time, actually. You get that E-tank. Like, he's got such a massive lead that this would have been the one time that in the tournament that I think somebody could have gone for that strat. He probably has never had to do it, though, so I don't think he's even familiar with it.
I've never even heard of that strat until just now. So
yeah, there were a few times that I was considering use it, but I was never that far ahead where I thought it would be profitable to do it. But I mean, that Wily 2 zip can be very scary. We've seen a lot of players die to that Wily 2 zip in the tournament. So I think just being able to skip it and get yourself, like, that E-Tank is such a safeguard against things that can go wrong later on in the run. Like if you happen to mess up in Wily 4 in the View Beam room, like having that E-Tank can just make sure you don't die. Or you mess up in refights and you get yourself into a position on Wily. Or you hug the alien. Like, it basically just negates all of those huge errors just by having one E-Tank.
Alright, so here comes Endy. Oh, he was trying to set up the zip, but unfortunately he fell down, and here's that time loss we're talking about.
And now he's going to lose more time. He doesn't have enough to get over.
Items.
Oh, wow, he did!
Oh my god, I can't believe he made it in 2 items.
Holy crap. I have never seen somebody make that in 2 items. I didn't even know you could. Wow. Good to know. Good to know. Endy with the clutch save, man. He knew. He knew all along he was good.
Oh my goodness.
Alright, well, Endy giving us some good entertainment value here, even if the race is not a close one. coolkid gonna handle Wily 3 here. Let's see if he opts to kill any fishes. I'm gonna go with no. But you never know, man. Maybe he's practiced it. Maybe he's got the technique down here. We'll see. Saba Ping might be going down. First one gets to live. Second one gets to live. Cypher would not be pleased. Those fish are surviving, man.
Yeah.
Alright, so Endy is in a situation where he does have to get that first item refill there. He had 0 item 1 going in, so he's just going to get both of them. And hopefully he gets this zip. This is, again, a tricky one to set up. He gets a nice setup there, good trigger, and grabs the ladder. He is safe.
Alright, yeah. So that's the hidden time loss, like additional time loss of missing a zip setup and having to repeat it, is that you're also down items. So you have to find an additional source of those. And in places like Wily 4 towards the end, if you miss those zips, then you might be out of items. You might not have a choice.
Yeah, you can definitely get yourself into situations where you run out of item 1 when you get to Wily 6 and not be able to zip. That is for sure a thing that's happened. So coolkid into Purple Hell. This is definitely one of my favorite stages here. He's going to set up this first mini zip, which is going to propel him over the Met. Gets it nicely. Nice item 3 drop there. He's into the second screen. Gets the boost, another item 3 drop, and he gets the third item 3 drop. So he is on his way with a nice climb. Despawns, goes through the fake floor there, and after despawning, he gets another vertical zip. So coolkid being coolkid here, no problem so far in Wily 4.
Yeah, that was a textbook first half.
So the second half, a little more danger. I mean, the first half is more about you could lose time. He takes some intentional damage there to save himself an item 1. That's a wise play, in my opinion. Having more item 1s is never a bad thing, especially when you have a big lead and you can afford to give up half a second without worrying. Alright, delay scroll. Can it happen? No, didn't happen. So
at that
delay
point,
scroll...
like, delay scroll wouldn't even turn this around.
No, Endy would just be only 1 stage behind. That's where we are, unfortunately. So coolkid getting that early
perfect trigger.
He's gonna have to make sure he gets this ejection. It's easy to get hit when you're in this position, but he does. He gets a perfect ejection there. So yeah, he's gonna set up this damage transfer. By taking damage in that exact spot, it allows you to kind of carry that damage on your person, and then you get to unleash it on this view beam right here, and there it is. Saves himself a crash bomb. Endy taking an unfortunate death in Wily 3. I didn't see exactly what happened, but that is game over. So I have a feeling that Endy, like I said, is using this mainly as a warm-up run. He needs to kind of just get himself back into shape. He may have not even played this game this week, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, in the slacker bracket, there was like a lot of no practice matches, so I wouldn't be surprised either.
There was, but he said he wanted to practice for this matchup against coolkid. In fact, I believe he even promised Prizzy, because we had commentated, I think, the match that he wanted to get into this one against Zoda, and he was adamant about it. But that might have been before he had the change at work. So, you know, you can't blame people, man. Real life stuff happens. Yeah. So he had to handle some responsibilities, and he probably just wasn't able to put in the practice that he wanted.
Ooh, nice. Coolkid getting a task kill.
Yeah, that's really nice because you get to exit very, very quickly if you do that. But it's a difficult kill, and getting a tough pattern. But coolkid handles it so well. Okay, good job there. He got in that first leaf shield. I didn't know if he got in the first one. I had a little screen flicker there, but nicely done. He's having good refights so far. Heatman not posing much of a threat. Coolkid manipulating him perfectly, and he is going to be taking on the metal crew. Metal blades all the way. Wow, nice fight. Coolkid's just so impressive to watch play this game. You almost take it for granted because if you watch him like regularly, he's just always playing well, and you're kind of just like, it's coolkid.
Yeah, this is like low 27 pace. Actually, casually low 27 pace.
Oh, but he missed that crash bomb.
Even now.
This is more going to be a mid 27 now. I think it'll be probably about. He'll get a. Well, no, he might
1x actually.
Yeah, he's gonna get a 1x. You're right. No, that's still super solid. So what happened there is you have to shoot that crash bomb a little bit below Wily's hitbox, so it gets stuck on the machine and then it explodes, and that's how it's damaging him multiple times. And he shot it just a little bit too high, so it actually connected with Wily and only did the 1 damage instead of the explosion damage. So, alright, here we go. He is into the boss room. Alien is all that stands between coolkid and a victory in Game 1 in this semifinal match. He is inching closer and closer to the finals with every passing moment. Let's see if he can pull off this kill. Here we go. Getting some good shots in there. Solid mashing and jumps. He's got this thing pretty much locked up. Don't hug the alien. He didn't. That's Game 1. 27-16 on the timer. Coolkid. Showing everybody how it's done.
And he's going to lose this transfer, yeah.
Yeah, he lost it. I saw they placed that crash bomb, but kind of almost went out of bounds or something. That was weird.
Yeah, well, I mean, the crash bomb placement was a little bit weird, but also I think that would have been still fine. But then he was still in iframes when he jumped into the boot beam, and so like he ended up not taking the damage, and so by the time he did, it was too late to get the transfer.
Unfortunate. Well, like we said, Endy's he's getting his warm up in here. He's gonna play a lot better in Game 2. I can promise you that. He is a competitor. He's not somebody that's just gonna go quietly. He'll put up a good fight in the next match. So he's gonna play the rest of this out and make sure he gets a little solid refight practice here. Let's see if he's going for Prizzy strat. He is. He unfortunately missed the first shot there, so he's gonna have to do 3 shots instead of 2. On over to wood. He's not going to go for task wood, I don't believe. He will probably be going for the regular wood strat, which is where you get close to him like so. And he took a little extra damage there, so probably going to farm some health. Yeah, he takes the health drop. Alright, we'll see what kind of pattern we get from Airman. There are some unfavorable patterns, and that is one of them. And that's another one that you don't want to really see on the second, but he'll get a 3-round kill before Airman gets to his jumping phase. So Heatman, of course, he can delay half second, full second, or a second and a half in between each shot. And he's going to keep his distance. He knows that coolkid's already completed the race. There's no reason for him to do anything too risky here. Although he does get a little risky at the end there.
Bubble fight here is just the slightest bit different actually from the robots fight. It feels like when he jumps, it happens a little bit earlier, so you have to be jumping already as you shoot your first blade, just to catch that one bubble pattern.
And he handled that pattern very well, though. He had a solid kill, so nicely done there. Because he is short on the crash bomb, he is wisely choosing to get a high health total going into this fight, because he's only going to be able to do one phase quickly, and it's going to be phase 1 as he goes ahead and uses his crash bomb. Now he's got to clutch it out with these metal blades, got to really mash, and then you're going to get the super crazy lag again, but his mashing is strong, and he gets through. So on to Wily 6 for Endy.
All right, and since he took the game over, I think he's got items to spare. Yeah.
More than enough. And this one you don't even have to trigger. This zip, you just need to get yourself into the ceiling and it'll automatically zip you. It's nice. There we are. Stops well short and gets wiggled in. So now it's going to be his turn. Hopefully he's able to take out the alien here. Of course, if you touch the alien, it deals about 80% of your health is going to be gone, and you do take intentional damage before any opportunities for hugging the alien. So usually you're pretty much going to be dead or close to it. But he's good so far. Some nice mashing there, and he's able to get a good kill. Finishes it off just under 31 minutes. So Endy has had his warm-up run. Cool Kid has had another magnificent run, and he is just looking more and more unstoppable as we watch this tournament progress. You know, Cool Kid's got to feel happy about where he is. He's up a game, and a lot of the people that had a chance to beat Cool Kid are out of the tournament now, you know? He's going to be going up against the winner of Prizzy and Streamline, which are both very, very solid players. But, you know, we had Nero get eliminated, and, of course, we had Cypher get eliminated as well. So those are two people that he knows he is not going to have to take on if he does manage to win another game versus Endy. And these guys are probably going to be jumping into game 2. I don't know if Endy wants to do any quick practice in between. We'll see. Oh, Cool Kid has a message for us. I believe we are going to see the 1, as in 1-0. That's what we were told last time. Oh, wait a second. Cool Kid has changed his mind. See if somebody's going to record this race for these guys. So, for those of you that don't know, the semifinal match between Prizzy and Streamline is going to be Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. Definitely looking forward to that one. Streamline has kind of quietly just been winning matches, playing consistently, beating everybody, and, you know, he's made his way into the top 4. So it's going to be interesting to see him take on Prizzy. Prizzy's really been on the grind. He has gotten himself down to the 26th level, which very few players have done. But yeah, you'll definitely want to check that match out. 7 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday night. And somebody is asking if the finals are best of 5. That is indeed the case. The finals will be a best of 5 match. So consistency, of course, will be very important. But I think in a best of 5, you're more likely to see somebody have a really bad mistake, because this is Rockman 2, and it's happened to everyone. Even Cool Kid had like some 29s and 28s earlier in the tournament. Can happen. So what do you want to see out of Game 2, Fatso?
That's a good question. I mean, I guess I want to see coolkid do the same run he did in Game 1, and then I want to see Endy do the same run as coolkid did in Game 1. I don't know.
That would be something. That would absolutely be something.
I recall it was Game 1 of Prizzy versus Nero, and that was a game that was like practically too close to call. And
yeah,
I think
that was
pretty awesome if we could see a matchup of that caliber between these two excellent runners.
It would be great. Yeah, it would be great to see. We've had a lot of great races in this tournament, and I think that we're gonna have some more. Definitely, Prizzy and Streamline is a much closer matchup than this one is, and then of course I think the finals is going to be really, really insane. So looking forward to all of that, and our races are just, I think, waiting to get another rim set up for Game 2. So just kind of sit back and enjoy the ride for now, everybody. You're watching Speed Gaming. Of course, you should be following all the Speed Gaming channels. We've got Speed Gaming 2, 3, 4, and 5. Don't forget about 5 now. And you can catch all your tournament action on these channels. You want to follow the runners, of course, Endy and coolkid. Both of them are extremely, extremely good speed runners from Sweden. They have numerous world records in many, many games. coolkid, of course, has also got the world record in Mega Man 1, which Endy is only like 12 seconds behind him in that game. Endy's got numerous NES records. He's really just kind of come on the scene in the last couple years and taken a lot of top times, and it's been pretty impressive. So I think these guys are ready to go. Here we go. Game 2. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. I guess coolkid hoping to maybe correct the performance from the previous Flash stage.
Yeah, he's got high standards. He's not going to be happy to have another double Flash fight. That's for sure. He probably wants to get a 26. I don't know if he's gotten a 26 yet in this tournament. And we have had a few 26s by Cypher, so coolkid's going to want to kind of show his stuff. He's going to be like, hey, I can get 26 in a race too.
coolkid taking just a very tiny early lead off of the tin can jump.
Yeah, slight lead here, but as we saw, that's not going to be too critical. It's the big mistakes in this game that'll get you. But coolkid will naturally build a lead just out of the very, very small things as well. So it's important for Endy to execute on the big things. He cannot afford to mess up the big things. He needs coolkid to mess up at least 1 or 2 big things, and he's got to hit them. And Endy, this time, getting himself in a little bit trouble. He's going to get flashed this time, I believe. He does. He's got to watch out. He is 1 hit away from death, and he clutches it out, gets the final shot in there, but coolkid did indeed get the good fight that time, so he's going to be the one having the solid lead this time. We have somebody in the chat saying that we need to have handicapped races based on PB like they do in golf. We've actually seen that, believe it or not, at an event called Smash the Record. Caleb Hart raced a guy named, I think it's Mike Hayes, I believe is the guy's name. But they did a Mega Man X race, and Caleb spotted the guy a lead based on their PBs or whatever, and then Caleb had to play catch up the entire race, and he did eventually catch up. But it was pretty entertaining to watch, and I think that is a cool thing to do. I don't know if that's going to be like an actual tournament format that ever exists, but just for for one-of races, maybe something you'll see. And we see coolkid hitting that nice item 3 throw there. Let's see if Endy can match him. He did get it in game 1. Doesn't get it this time. He was a little bit short there. Both of them getting the zip. coolkid progressing on Yoku blocks here, taking it pretty aggressively. No need to back off too much. Play it how you know it. Otherwise, you can get yourself into trouble.
It can be tempting to, like, because the way that people will normally take these Yoku blocks in RTA is pretty aggressive, where they'll get as far right as possible at every time, because the timers for the Yoku blocks, they don't start globally. They start when the block scrolls on screen. So you stay very far to the right, but of course every time you do that, you're risking death. But the true risk of death is when the block doesn't appear when you're expecting it to. So you just got to do your RTA strats there every time.
Absolutely. I think this is a game where you definitely want to go with what you're comfortable with. Trying to improvise in this game generally does not end well, and we've seen that multiple times throughout the course of the tournament. coolkid has taken a hit, so he needs to be careful here. If he were to take another hit from Heatman, then we would see Endy taking the lead, but he manages to safely complete those last few shots and escape with his life. So now it's Endy's turn. He's got plenty of health, so he takes out Heatman no problem. So Endy's staying within range. That's kind of his job right now. He's just gotta keep within about, you know, half minute to a minute. If he can do that, then he's gonna give himself a chance in the Wily stages, because that's where we could see coolkid have a major failure. I don't believe coolkid has died in Airman yet in the open air section. We had a lot of our runners die at least one time somewhere throughout the tournament. I think pretty much everybody died except coolkid. I don't think it happened to him. And here he goes. Taking it safe. He's taking the damage boost, so he's just got to clear one more jump. And he gets the ledge jump. He is through, so coolkid is safe. Endy this time having a much easier go of it, and he's got to get this last jump. He does as well, so Endy gets through this time. He is keeping that close race alive for the time being. Alright, so both of them with plenty of health this time. Health is not a concern. Airman, of course, has 5 different patterns that he can open the fight with. Some of them are really bad, and they can mean that you're going to take a lot more damage. Some of them are good. So, coolkid going to go first, and we'll see. And Endy is reverting some dirty strats. He's trying to get coolkid's girlfriend to tickle him, and, you know, hopefully make him fall down in a pit or something like that. Didn't happen, though.
Yeah, one of the lesser-known competitive strats.
Alright, so both of them getting kills on Airman. coolkid's was a little bit better. He did get a right side kill. Endy getting pretty much a left side kill. But, again, Endy staying close. That's the main thing. Getting through those first 3 stages without taking a death is really nice, because you kind of have a break for a little while. Really until Woodman, I'd say, where you feel like you're kind of in danger again. And now the chat telling Endy, hey, maybe you need to not be spamming in the chat. Maybe you should be focusing on your run instead. Alright, cool.
Another flawless biggie.
How does he do it? So that alone saves coolkid about 5 seconds, just by doing that zip on the first screen. rather than the second screen like Endy is doing. It's incredibly difficult. The placements of your item ones have to be super precise. You have to have very good timing with your movement, and you have to, you know, trigger a zip at a perfect time and then basically do a jump at a very small window in order to pull off that trick. There's a lot of moving parts to it, but coolkid, I mean, this guy plays all day. Like, he's done, he might be up to 9,000 attempts now, I'm not sure, but definitely over 8,000 attempts. So this guy's put in work when it comes to this game.
Yeah, and a flawless climb as well. Just like all around, really solid Clash stage.
Yeah, this is a nice pace. So we're gonna see coolkid doing the Prizzy strat here, which is you're gonna shoot a shot to the left immediately to get Clashman to jump at you, and then you shoot another one, force him to jump into a second tornado, and then that way you make sure that you get two tornadoes damaging him on the first shot, and then you only need one more tornado afterwards. So you can always get a 2-shot kill in that way. So Endy, I believe, is also going to be going for it, and he doesn't get it, unfortunately. He got a little mixed up there, so he's going to have to shoot 3 tornadoes, but he's still keeping the pace. He had a decent enough stage there. I don't think anything went too wrong. You know, he's keeping it close enough. Yeah.
That's one of the dangers, or like one of the hard part about that fight strat is that you don't have very much time to recognize the pattern and know which shot you need to take.
It's true, yeah. It happens very quickly, and your movement has to be pretty precise because you need to position yourself pretty precisely in order to get those doubles to hit. So coolkid with a nice zip setup there, and he is on a really solid pace so far in this run. I believe he was sub 9 out of Clash, which is like really good. Oh, Endy having a little trouble getting turned around there. You have to be facing to the right before you hit the ceiling, and he just couldn't quite get turned around. So he's going to lose about 5 seconds having to reset that zip, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's basically how things go in this game. There's relatively fewer, you know, half-second, 1-second losses. There's a lot of 4 or 5 second losses you can take.
Certainly true. Yeah, this game is a high punish game. coolkid not getting as favorable a pattern this time, but he handles it so well that it doesn't even matter. Gets a very fast kill, and he is just murdering this game right now. And Endy getting in the door, so no soft locks today. Looking good on that front. Uh-oh. Endy missing a shot there. Still gets a nice corner kill. That doesn't lose too much time. Ideally, you don't want to miss any of your shots, but Endy missed it in such a way that he was able to get a lot of damage off of his explosion, so it worked out. Alright, coolkid on dog scrolls here. And did he over zip screen too? I don't know. He did, so this is about a 15-second time loss here. That's gonna put Endy a little bit back in the game now. Oh no, and coolkid, oh wow, he almost got, you can actually get underneath the floor there where he was, and he could have got stuck, but he managed to get out. So
what would you even do there? Is there a way to there must be a way to take a death and then do the zip, right?
You have to, if you take you can take an intentional death by like over zipping the screen, and then but it wastes a lot more time. So
yeah.
coolkid able to recover pretty well, and he is again of course going to be going for that frame perfect trick. Gets it first try. Has to repause. You have to repause to reset your momentum in order to get a long enough distance of a zip to grab the ladder that you can't really see, but there is one there. And you're going to see Endy is actually going to kill Metal Man before coolkid kills Woodman, but I would still say that coolkid is in the lead because Wood stage is longer than Metal's.
Yeah, it's like probably 15 to 20 seconds difference between them right now. Maybe even less.
Yeah, Yeah, it's going to be a lot closer. I mean, that is the fail that you really want to avoid in Woodman. Is if you fail the first screen zip, then it's about a 7-second time loss because you just basically you have a very fast death and then you are at the checkpoint immediately. But failing that second screen is where it gets you into trouble because you got to backtrack, you got to walk all the way around, then you got to set up another zip to get over the third dog. It's kind of a mess. So if Endy can manage to have a good wood here, then he's going to be right in this thing, heading into bubble. And Endy is going to be setting up his own variation on this zip. He kind of does this different placement here, gets himself a little bit lower, gets a good first screen. Second screen is good. So now even if you overzip the third screen, you're fine. You can just kind of reset everything. But he gets through, so oh no, and he gets pushed off the item there at the end. But this is still going to be a significant time save over coolkid, provided he can finish out this complicated zip here.
A little bit of a mismenu there, but he caught it in time. So
yeah, just in time. So now you can see coolkid is at the boss door well before Endy. That's what we were talking about there in terms of the length of the stage being different. But Endy still in it. He is still in it here, which in game one he really was not in it. After he, once he took that death in air, it was almost over from there. It was rough. All right, so coolkid with a teleport out at 14:28. We can see kind of how much further behind Endy is. He is probably going to be teleporting out around 47.
47, yeah. So it's 19-second difference.
Yeah.
Potentially up to 23-second difference or 25-second difference, depending on...
Oh, the death! Coolkid going for that difficult strat. It finally bit him in the butt. That's the first time, I think, all tournament that we've seen that. So it's not a very costly death, but it is going to catch Endy up nicely. And it puts coolkid on 0 lives, which makes things a little more complicated in the Wily stages. This really opens the door for Endy right now, and I think Endy using his item 2 now might actually get very, very close to coolkid, but he's going to lose some time later on when coolkid does the item 2 zip, unless he messes it up. That is something that has happened.
You only need to mess it up, what, twice? And then it's barely breaking even, and then if you miss it again, you're screwed, right?
Yeah, I think if you get it the second time, you're breaking even. If you miss it the second time, then you're losing time. So coolkid, but he is ice cold. I mean, he gets the zip all the time. Like, he gets it first try every time. I'd be really surprised to see him miss it here. Easy every time. Coolkid, too cool. Yeah.
Coolkid has a unique setup for that, where you actually place it facing forward. Many other players will place it facing backwards. Mm-hmm. And I believe the frame window is slightly easier, but the execution is harder for coolkid's.
Yeah. I've heard different things on that. I don't know what the actual truth is, but coolkid getting a 3 bubble. So if Endy manages to get slightly better RNG, he's probably gonna be basically breaking even on the stage. Like if he gets a 1 bubble or 2 bubble and executes it well enough, he's gonna be good. But he gets the 3 bubble as well. This game just really not helping Endy out here, not at all. So 16:31, I think, was the teleport for coolkid. Let's see what Endy's teleport is. 43, so 12 seconds. So that death essentially cost coolkid about 7 seconds. Not too much. If you're going to take a death, that's pretty much the one you want to take. But Endy is on a really solid pace here. This is, I think he's only a few seconds behind his PB, so he's got to be happy with how he's playing so far. And coolkid, on the other hand, like I mentioned, he's on 0 lives here, so he's kind of in the danger zone. There's some bad things that can happen, and Endy just needs one of them. He just needs one bad thing to happen to coolkid.
So here again, you despawn the egg, but not the bird, and then you use the bird to despawn the little toothpaste enemy there. Coolkid with a very slightly slow setup. I think that he had the item placement for that second item just a tiny bit off. And he had to wait.
And Endy got perfect placements there, so he gained probably just a half second. But Cool Kid with a perfect second zip, so pressure's on Endy now. He missed this the first time. This was a really bad spot for him. Let's hope he can get it here. And he looks good. Okay, Endy has got it this time. So we have a race, everybody. We're headed into Wily 2. Provided nobody decides to kiss the dragon, things are going to be close.
Yeah, this is exactly the kind of match we were hoping for.
No question. So Cool Kid finishing off the dragon there, no problem. And he is going to be first into Wily 2. But Endy not too far behind. And he's able to get onto the block safely. No crazy ice physics happening there. That is something that can happen. You can slide on those blocks because they're actually, the way the game is programmed, it's a little convoluted, but they're actually considered enemies, those blocks. And so you know, when you're standing on them, it's not as smooth as when you're standing on solid ground. Alright, here we go. Cool Kid up first. He's got to get this item placement done correctly, and he barely gets it. That was super close. If he had placed that item any further to the right, he probably would have been hitting the spikes there, but he's through. So it's Endy's turn. Endy's right behind him. He's now got to get this item 1 placement. His item 1 placement is good as well. It was a little lower, so losing frames, but not losing too much time. He's got to be happy. He's in there. Endy's having himself a good run. So Cool Kid had a stellar hallway there. Endy, unfortunately... Oh, he didn't... He already had full health, I guess.
Yeah. I guess one of the more subtle things about this screen, actually, is the menu from wood to item 3 is probably the hardest menu in the entire game. So Cool Kid actually had a little bit of trouble doing that menu, and I think Endy gained frames on him just from that.
He probably did, but he lost some time to the drop, so I think Cool Kid is going to net gain a little bit of time here, but Endy is just, he's grinding, man. He's just keeping it close, Cool Kid going to get his kill at 38. It was a pretty high 38, and we'll see what kind of kill Endy gets here in a few moments. Looks like Wily Stage has been treating Cool Kid a little bit better than they've been treating Endy. He's widened his lead ever so slightly, 53. So looking like about a 15-second difference between our runners, but that is nothing. When it comes to Wily stages, you make one mistake, your 15 seconds and more is going to be out the window. So Cool Kid really has to kind of play well for the rest of this run here. And especially that 0 lives thing, that could really come into play. Any death he takes is going to be game over. Doesn't even think about going for the fish. All right, let's see if Endy takes it a little safer this time. He had that death in Wily 3 last time. I didn't see exactly what happened. Oh man, that was close. Endy,
really,
please.
That's where he died last time, right?
Jeez, man, you don't need to cut it that close, dude. Alright, Cool Kid has successfully made it through what is really the easiest stage in the game, even though there are some very dangerous areas. It's the calm before the storm. Wily 4 is coming. You got to mentally prepare yourself, and Endy is now through as well. So Endy giving us those. He does not care about chat one bit. He's just like, I will spoil whatever, and you cannot stop me. Endy having a slightly worse fight there against Guts Tank, so I think Cool Kid probably going to gain another second, but again, none of that matters. If he has any of the crucial errors in Wily 4, which is basically anywhere in the second half of the stage, then Endy can take the lead. That's where we are right now. So Cool Kid getting that Met Zip yet again. He's an expert at this climb. Those item 3 drops are pretty tight, but he gets them all. He's going to do the fake floor trick again. Hits it nicely, setting up the vertical zip. He's got that. So he has cleared that first tough part of the stage. It's Endy's turn. He's kind of got to maintain the pace here. And he's doing it. He's getting his item 3 drops. Nicely done. No fake floor from Endy. Cool Kid going to take that intentional damage. He is going to save that item 1 wisely. If he wants to B-trigger later, he has the option to do that. Or if he just needs it later because he gets himself into a troublesome situation, he will have it.
Endy taking 2 extra pauses there instead of just the 1. Get a little bit extra extension on the zip. I don't think it's worth, but maybe if he messed up the menu on the first try.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it saves time. It does extend it, but you're losing the time to the menu, so it's probably a push. So Cool Kid with the zip, and he is through with only 1 wiggle. So if he gets this ejection here, then he has made it through Wily 4, and he's got a hammer lock on this race right now. And he's looking good so far.
Yeah.
See if he can get this last double. He gets the last double, and that is really... Endy needed him to have some kind of mistake in Wily 4, and he just didn't do it. Cool Kid is too strong right now. So Endy nicely into Wily 4's... the Wily 4 boss as well. And you got to feel for Endy, man. He's having himself a heck of a run right now, but Cool Kid will not relent.
Yeah,
right, nice finish.
A flawless
there.
execution of the booby fight. And so now I guess all he's hoping for is for Cool Kid to get a little bit too confident in refights and slip up somewhere and die, because any death is going to be a game over.
It could happen, but the way this quick fight is going, Cool Kid is handling it so well. He's taken no damage, just a little bit of damage there he took from quick. So he is in great shape here. He's got plenty of health. He's got a skill advantage in refights. Refights are tough, and we've seen Endy kind of struggling a little bit with, you know, some of these early refights. Like quick can be really, really tough. Endy getting a good pattern there so far. He's getting some nice low jumps. Oh, really great pattern from Endy. He might have picked up some time in quick, as a matter of fact. But Cool Kid finishing out that task wood yet again. Airman's pattern is going to determine some things. Cool Kid not getting a favorable phase 1 against Airman or phase 2. So if Endy gets a lucky...
wow.
Oh,
That's
this is
really
dangerous. Yeah, that is rough stuff. So Endy now has some chance to catch up. It's going to be mitigated, though, because he's going to have to take this health. But even still, if Endy can get a 2-phase, or if Cool Kid takes a hit from Heatman here, we're talking about a completely different race. So let's see. Endy getting a... Well, that first phase is not exactly what you want. He got a bad second phase and a bad third phase. Endy just can't catch a break.
Yeah, that's really rough.
Ah, so unfortunate, man. I really feel for Endy right now. He's been playing his heart out, and he just cannot catch a single break from either the RNG or from Cool Kid. Cool Kid is just like, whatever, I made like a small mistake, who cares? Nothing's going to stop me. And he takes care of Flash. So the one thing that Cool Kid has to watch out for is, again, if he misses that crash bomb again, that would put him in trouble. And Endy going to have to take another health there. So he gets the crash bombs, though.
Cool Kid shot his second crash bomb so low this time.
Yeah. he knows he's ahead. He knows he's ahead. He doesn't want to mess around. So he's almost done here. He's ready to close out this match. He is 1 zip, 1 door transition, and 1 alien fight away from the finals. Can he finish Endy off? We're about to find out. All right, zip setup is very clean. He needs to not overzip here. Stops pretty early, gets his wiggles. He's in the door. If he doesn't touch the alien, this thing is over. And Cool Kid is going to win with yet another 27. This one might be a little higher than game 1. Let's find out. All right, strong mashing there from Cool Kid. And that is going to be it. 27-22. Cool Kid wins. Endy not far behind. He's getting ready to enter the aliens room. And Cool Kid has advanced to the finals, winning 2-0. Endy getting ready to finish it out. He's got to feel happy about how he's played. No matter what, this has been a really, really good run for Endy, especially after game one. He came back and he came really strong. He really put a good effort out in this match, and he's going to finish off the Alien, and it looks like he gets a 27.51, so really strong stuff there. Endy getting probably his first 27 of the tournament. Great job by both of our runners, and that's it. Cool Kid advances.
Yeah, that was a killer match. Exactly like everything we could have hoped for a game two between these guys.
Yeah, I'm really pleased to see that. Because Endy, after that first game one, he could have just completely gone off the rails there and not had a very good game two, but he played a hell of a game two. I mean, keep in mind his personal best is 27-28, so he was within just what 23 seconds or so. Yeah, that's really strong. If you can come that close to your PB, then you have done a lot of things right in your run, and credit to him. So we're going to check and see if either of our runners are up for an interview, see if we can talk to them, and then that's going to be it for today. So again, reminder, our next match, semifinal match between Prizzy and Streamline, is going to be Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. Channel is to be determined, but it will be on one of the Speed Gaming channels, so be ready for that. And I think we have Endy has joined, so we can let's go ahead and bring Endy in. Let's talk to him. And Cool Kid has also joined, so we'll get to talk to both of our runners. All right, Endy and Cool Kid, welcome. That was a great match. Thank you very much. Congrats to Cool Kid. You've advanced to the finals. Endy, we're going to talk to you first. That was a heck of a game too, man. You really, really played well in that game too. How did you do that? How did you turn things around so well for game two?
Game one, it started off pretty well. I did a very stupid mistake in the fast air section. I was going for a faster air than the safe air because I knew I was ahead. So I was thinking that if I could do some faster strats, maybe I could keep him off of me, But then I died. And after that, I kind of tilted, I guess. Everything kind of went bad. So in game two, it was like, new game, new settings. So instead, I had a bad start of game two, honestly. I had a really bad start with the Flashman fight. And but after that, I mean, I think I played pretty solid. I feel I couldn't have done much more. I kind of played to the best of my performance in game two, as it is right now. I haven't touched the game since last games I played against Soda, so I don't know. I mean, I did what I could in game two, but I was watching. He was too strong, so I just wanted to have a 27 in the tournament. And
you got it, man. You got it. Not everybody got a 27 in this tournament, and you pulled one out, so great job on that. And of course, you do have the opportunity for a rematch. You will be facing off against Cool Kid in this game in ESA in just a couple months. So we'll be looking forward to that. Cool Kid's gonna have to make sure he stays on top of his game. I'm imagining you're gonna practice more for that one, though.
Yeah, I will. I will be more prepared than for this bracket. That's for sure. And then I mean, either way, it's gonna be hard to match him. But I think I talked about it before. But I feel it's in a one game setting, in a live setting, it's more nerve-wracking, and I think I have a better chance in that than I have in a best of three like this. It's gonna be fun, and you're gonna be there as well. So I mean, at least I can try to beat you if I can.
Well, that's if I'm still playing in it. We'll see. I'm kind of the wild card. I know you guys put me in there just in case, but yeah, that's to be determined. We'll see how things go. But yeah, either way, no, I think you did really well for the situation. I mean, you have not put in as much practice as a lot of the other players. So to put up a 27 as your final run of the tournament is really great stuff. And I hope that you do continue. And I know that you're going to get a much lower time by ESA. So we're excited to see you improve on your personal best going forward.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm happy with the end of the performance here, and congratulations to coolkid as well. I mean, that was an expected outcome, but I'm happy at least I could. I mean, I could at least make him a little bit anxious in the last game.
That's what you got to do. All right, Fatso, did you have any questions for Endy before we let him go?
No, I think you covered most of the bases there. Thanks for a great game, Endy.
Thank you, and thank you for commentating. I'm gonna rewatch it later, of course. So, but I know it's gonna be great already. So.
All right, so that is EndySWE. Make sure to follow his stream. He is an NES master, plays all kinds of, and Game Boy too. He's reached into the Game Boy Mega Man games and taken some top times in those as well. So, of course, coolkid with the victory. You are on into the finals. How does it feel, coolkid?
All right, it feels good.
How did you feel about your performance in the races today?
I think I played. I think I played well. A little annoyed in the second race. I had a strong start, and then I messed up the dog sips and Woodman, so I was kind of annoyed that second race. Like I knew that kind of start, that could have been a really good race time, but other than that, it was all right, really.
So do you feel like you're pretty much ready for the finals? I mean, there's only one more match left, and you're gonna be taking on either Prizzy or Streamline.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. That was my goal going to the tournament, was to make it to the finals, and so I'm very happy. And congrats to Endy for having a great tournament run, making it to the semifinals.
Yeah, he had some pretty solid upsets there to get to you, but was not able to pull the upset on you. In fact, nobody has. You've been playing really well in your last several matches, getting really, really low times, and yeah, whoever's going to play you in the finals, they're going to have to be putting up some low 27s to have a chance, is what it looks like. So, good games, man.
Oh, thank you very much. And I think the next match is on Tuesday, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, we're going to be looking forward to watching that one. Fatso, you got anything?
I just want to ask you about your flash fight in the first race, actually. We were all watching Endy because Endy was having a little bit of trouble too, and then suddenly you had a second flash, and everybody got real confused.
Yeah, I mean, you don't ever practice backups or flash from, at least I don't. So.
Yeah,
you got out of control. I was like, okay, what do I do now? I felt pretty safe though, because I even had extra health in the fight. I got a big health drop, so it's like, hey, I'm not gonna die, but this is gonna be odd.
Yeah. It's always a bit of an adventure when you get that first flash, or like even a second one, right?
Yeah, but I am. So that was a weird start, but then the rest of the Robot Masters were good, so all good there.
Yeah, definitely two incredible showings in your two races. So congratulations, and I guess I got no further questions.
I got just one more before we wrap it up, coolkid. So you did have that death in Bubble Man early in the stage, and it's been rare for you to have that of late, but did that change your thinking at all in terms of how you want to approach things in the finals? Like, are you still going to be probably going for the item 2 zip?
Like, I'm still going for it, because I've not learned the item 2 in the first screen, and yeah, so I'd rather just do that.
All right. Well, you've been ultra consistent with it, so I'm sure it'll be just fine, and we're looking forward to seeing you in the finals. Thanks again for the great match, and thank you everybody for watching. That's going to do it for us. Like I said, tune in on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern for the next match. That's going to be Prizzy versus Streamline, and determine who is going to be facing off against coolkid in the finals. So thanks for watching, and take care.